If you're single, never married, or divorced a long time ago, and you're over 65, this is the one you've been waiting for and didn't know it. Because every video about the money Social Security owes you is built for somebody else. It's for the widow. It's for the wife who can claim off her husband's record. You've watched a dozen of them, and every single time you got to the end and thought, none of that is me. There's even a comment I saw with 46 people agreeing under it. It just said, no relevance to a single person. And that stuck with me, because it's wrong. There is money sitting on your record right now, your own record, that a single person can claim. 3 payments, specifically. And nobody points them at you, because you don't fit the widow story they love to tell. Stay with me to the end, because the third one is the biggest, and it can land as a single lump sum in your bank account. Here's what I want to do in the next few minutes. I'm going to walk you through 3 real payments a single senior can claim on their own earnings, with the exact form to ask for, the office to call, and roughly what each one is worth. And before anybody types it, let me kill the 2 wrong ideas right now. This is not only for low-income seniors scraping by, and it is not some loophole for the rich with a fancy advisor. Both of those are wrong. This is for the ordinary single retiree in the middle, who paid in for 40 years and was quietly left off the list. I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not with the government. I read the rules so you don't have to. Quick question before we start, and I read these. Are you single by choice, or did life just land you here? Tell me down below. It matters more than you think for what comes next. And I mean that. Because here's the quiet truth nobody in these videos says out loud. The whole system was drawn up around couples, a worker and a spouse. So the extra help, the survivor checks, the spousal top-ups, all of it points at pairs. If you're on your own, you fall through the gaps in the design, not because you didn't earn it, but because nobody built the map for you. So let me build it. Let's start with the first one, because it's the one most people never check, and it can be the difference of hundreds of dollars a month for the rest of your life. Your Social Security check is built on one thing, your earnings record. Every year you worked, an amount got posted to your name. Add up the best of those years, run it through their formula, and that's your benefit. Simple. Except the record is wrong more often than they'll ever admit. An employer reports your wages under a slightly wrong number. A name change after a divorce never gets matched up. A year of self-employment just vanishes. And here's the part that should bother you. When a year is missing or too low, the system doesn't call you. It just pays you less. Forever. Nobody at that agency is going to phone your kitchen and say, "We shorted you, come fix it." So you fix it. The form is called SSA 7008. Its plain name is Request for Correction of Earnings Record. You can pull it up online, or you can call them at 1-800-772-1213 and ask for it by name. Say those numbers to them, 7008, and they'll know exactly what you mean. You bring your proof. An old W-2, a pay stub in a shoebox, a tax return from that year. They compare it to what's on file, and if you're right, they correct the record and they recompute your benefit going back. Let me make that real. Picture a single woman, call her Ruth, 71, never married, worked the front desk of a clinic for years. 2 of her early years were posted under her maiden name and never got credited. Fixing it lifted her monthly check by a little over $90, and they owed her the difference for the months it was wrong. $90 a month may not sound like a fortune. Over the rest of her life, it's thousands. On your own record. That you earned. And here's how you actually check, because I don't want you calling blind. Pull up what they call your earnings statement, either online or by asking on that phone line. It lists every year you worked with the amount posted next to it. Run your finger down the column and look for 2 things. A year that's blank where you know you were working, and a year where the number is far lower than you remember earning. Either one is worth a call. On a benefit of $1,500 a month, a corrected record might lift you $60. On a $2,500 benefit, it can be well over $100. Everybody's number is their own, but the fix costs you 1 form and 1 phone call. One honest catch, so I'm straight with you. There's a normal time limit to correct a year, about 3 years and change after it. But that limit has real exceptions, and a wrong employer report is one of them. So do not talk yourself out of calling because you think it's too old. Pull your earnings statement, go year by year, And if a number looks wrong or a whole year is blank, that's your signal. Which brings me to the second payment, and this one is aimed at people who did everything right and got shorted anyway. Number 2 is about the reward for waiting. If you didn't grab your check the second you turned 62, if you held off past your full retirement age, the government promised you extra. They're called delayed retirement credits. For every month you waited past your full retirement age, up to 70, your benefit was supposed to grow by 2/3%. That adds up to 8% more for every full year you held out. Here's where single people get quietly burned. When you finally file, the system often pays you first at your full retirement age amount, and then it's supposed to add those credits on later, usually the following January. Supposed to. Sometimes the credits get added late, sometimes they get added wrong. And if you're single, there's no spouse looking over the statement, no second set of eyes catching that your check is lower than it should be. So you just accept it. Don't. If you delayed and you're getting checks now, this is your homework. Get your benefit calculation and count the months you waited past full retirement age. Take those months, multiply by 2/3%, and see if your check reflects it. If it doesn't, you call that same number, 1-800-772-1213, and you tell them you want your delayed retirement credits reviewed and recomputed. Say it just like that. On a $2,000 benefit, a single year of missed credits is about $160 a month you're not getting. That's almost $2,000 a year walking out the door because a computer didn't finish a job and nobody flagged it. This isn't a favor you're begging for. It's a promise they made in writing for you being patient. Make them keep it. And here's what genuinely bothers me about this one. The waiting was the hard part. You lived on less in your 60s, so your check would be bigger later. You did the exact responsible thing everyone nags you to do, and then the reward gets tallied by a machine that sometimes just forgets to finish. If anybody earned the right to double-check that math, it's the person who sacrificed to wait for it. Now the third one. This is the biggest, and it's the one I told you to wait for, because it can come as a real lump sum, sometimes several $1,000s, deposited at once. But it comes with a decision, and I want you to hear both sides, because most videos only tell you the shiny half. Here's the rule. If you've already passed your full retirement age and you haven't filed yet, Social Security will let you claim up to 6 months of benefits retroactively. 6 months in one payment. So say your check would be $2,000 a month, and you're 7 or 8 months past your full retirement age, still holding off. You can file, ask for the 6-month retroactive option, and they'll cut you a lump sum of around $12,000 for those back months, then start your regular checks. For a single person with no other cushion, $12,000 landing at once is real money. It can clear a debt, it can fix the roof, it can be the emergency fund you never had. But I promised you straight, so here's the trade. Those 6 months of retroactive benefits and the delayed credits for the same 6 months, you can't have both. When you take the lump sum, you give up the credits you would have earned for those months, and your monthly check going forward is a little lower, permanently, by roughly 4% for a full 6-month claim. So this is a real choice, not a free gift. If you need cash now, the lump sum is a lifeline nobody told you existed. If you don't need it, and you'd rather have a bigger check for the next 20 years, you skip it. Let me put a number on it so it's not just talk. Take that $12,000 lump sum, and your monthly check might drop by around $80 for good. Live another 15 or 20 years, and that $80 a month slowly climbs past the $12,000 you took. So the lump sum wins if you need the cash now, or your health is shaky and you'd rather have it in hand. The bigger check wins if you're healthy and you can be patient. Either way, the point is this. It's your option to take or leave. It's yours because you waited. And single people almost never get told it's on the table, because the whole conversation always assumes a couple planning together. You're planning alone, so you need to know your own options cold. That's what this is. Those are your 3, all on your own record, no spouse required. But before I add it up, let me hand you 2 more, because if your income is on the lower side, these can matter even more than the 3 above. The first is called Supplemental Security Income, SSI. If your monthly income is low and you don't have much in savings, this is a separate check on top of Social Security, not instead of it. For 2026, The maximum federal amount for a single person is $994 a month. It went up with the 2.8% cost of living raise this year. A lot of single seniors assume they earn just a hair too much to bother applying, and they never find out they were actually under the line. Don't assume, let them run your numbers. The second is the one I get most fired up about because it's pure money left on the table. It's the Medicare Savings Programs. If you're single and your monthly income is at or below about $1,350, there's a program called QMB that can pay your Medicare Part B premium for you, plus deductibles and copays. That Part B premium alone is $202.90 a month in 2026. That's money coming straight out of your Social Security check before you ever see it. QMB can hand that back to you. And even if you're a bit over that line, up to around $1,816 a month, there are sister programs that still cover that Part B premium. You apply through your state's Medicaid office. Ask for the Medicare Savings Program by name, and think about what that stacks up to over a year. That premium back in your pocket is more than $2,400 every 12 months. That's not a coupon. That's a whole winter of heating, or the grocery bill for months, handed back to a single person who was quietly paying it and never had to. So let me bring it all home for the single senior who was told none of this was for you. Fix your earnings record with that 7008 form, and it could be $90 a month or more, for life. Get your delayed credits recomputed, and that's potentially another $160 a month you were promised. Take a hard look at the 6-month lump sum if you filed late, and that's thousands in one deposit. Add SSI if your income is low, up to $994 more a month, and let the Medicare programs give you back that $200 premium. Not one of those needs a husband, a wife, or a survivor's claim. Every single one sits on what you built. The people who collect these aren't luckier than you. They're not smarter. They just got told, and now you've been told too. So do me one favor. Think of one other single person over 65, somebody who lives alone and figures the system forgot about them. Send them this. It might be the $90 or it might be the $12,000, but it could genuinely change their month. If this helped, a like tells the algorithm to show it to more single seniors who need it. And if you're not subscribed to the Finance Scribe yet, that's what we do here. Translate this stuff into plain English so you can actually use it. And tell me down in the comments, which of these 5 did you already know about, and which one are you calling about this week? I read every one. Take care of yourself, and go claim what's already yours.